we got Gator Gang B or Gator Gang Bang, whatever his name is. Gator Gang B. He is going to be taking over for the Los Angeles Chargers after having the Cardinals last year, I
He was,
believe.
yeah, the Cardinals.
It was a Cardinals. So he's taking over the Los Angeles Chargers in this division. So let's hear a little bit about those Chargers.
The Chargers are one of my favorite rosters. I I know B, and we talk a lot about the teams, and he's huge on uniforms. They have the best set of uniforms in football. They're going with the full-time powder blue now, and I think they made some new adjustments with their uniforms with the change to Los Angeles. So um, I know he's really excited about that, but this roster is just stacked. Not necessarily the top high-end talent. Joey Bosa at 91 overall, Keenan Allen at 91 overall. Those are the only two guys at 90 or 90 plus, but several guys in the 80s, a lot on defense, and then just some good depth. So I'll just kind of go through Casey Hayward, Derwin James, both defensive backs at 89. Derwin James is going to have a huge impact. I'm interested to see what his X factors, superstar abilities, all that stuff look like.
Mhm.
The offensive line is going to need some work. They traded Russell Okung to Carolina for Trey Turner, which solidifies the interior line, makes the left tackle a little bit worse. And I know they drafted somebody, but I'm not sure what who they drafted at tackle and what round, but I'm pretty sure they did. Um, Melvin Ingram, we all saw it last year with the X factors. That defensive line for Los Angeles was a terror with Bosa on one end and Ingram on the other. They added Chris Harris in the corner, so they got Casey Hayward Jr., Chris Harris, Desmond King II, all at 87 overall or better. And then Derwin James playing center field. He's technically a strong safety, but that's going to be a fierce defense to try to combat. Offense will need a little bit of work. Keenan Allen, obviously the rookie quarterback. Let's see what's his name from
Justin
Oregon.
Herbert.
Yes, thank you, Justin Herbert. So
Herbert.
70 overall, good athlete, 82 speed, 87 acceleration, 92 throw power. So he's got the Madden ratings you want. I'm not sure what his accuracies look like. I'll try to get to that, but I know B likes to run around. He traded for Kyler Murray last year with the or no, sorry, he had Kyler Murray but traded for Hollywood Brown. He likes to have mobile quarterbacks, so I think having Herbert who can run around a little bit will be really big for him. So short accuracy, 83, 78 mid accuracy, and 76 deep accuracy. So Herbert looks like a pretty good player, especially for a rookie. Only 70 overall, but has some solid ratings. So a really good roster for a really good player as well. B is always one of the top players in the league in terms of just talent um, with Madden.
Yep. B was he dropped out before the end of the cycle, so his record, I don't have his record for the last cycle, but he made the playoffs multiple times. He's always a playoff contender when he's there. I mean, he had the Cardinals
Mhm.
in the playoffs, and I think he won a few games. He may have made it to a conference final potentially. He's definitely in the division round. So B's a pretty good player. That Chargers uh, team is interesting, especially with Herbert and his issue there may be a little cap issue there, especially with the big deal that Bosa just signed.
And there's always a
So
question if
be
Madden
interesting to
gets
see.
those contracts in or not.
Well, and yeah, and I read somewhere, I think I mentioned it last time, that they were going to kind of they were going to kind of fudge it to make it easier for folks and their cap problems and these teams that might be cap strapped. But it'd be nice to have a player like Bosa for that long signed, with even if he's going to cost you a lot of money, at least up front you've got him and you can work around it from the start.
Yeah.
So it'll you don't have to sign him that first year and not really know. I mean, he's already there. So um, th- it's shaping up. I mean, you got Smace coming in. It's not a shock which team he's going to be. So This is a very interesting division to me. I mean, there's a lot more talent. This is one of the divisions that has some talent, especially with the Chiefs in there. It's a little different than our first division. That might have been one of the least talented divisions. This is going to be one of the more highly talented divisions.
Yeah, and I think that like this Chargers team, Bond really hit on how dominant that defense has the potential to be, and where the offense is kind of the work in progress. And I think that uh, knowing B and his ability on the offensive side of the ball, he might be able to make up like that lack of talent with a little bit of his offensive ability. So I think this is a team that can still challenge right away for the division, knowing what B can do on the offensive side of the ball with sometimes limited talent.
Yeah,
And he still got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, as mentioned. He's got Hunter Henry.
yeah,
He's got some good receiving options. I think it's just a little bit of the offensive line, seeing how Herbert is and how he'll progress, and then really figuring out that running back position. I'm not sure who they have running back now that Gordon's left.
they got Austin Eckler. That's the one they picked.
Austin
So
Eckler. Yep.
he's going to be the bell cow. They have Justin Jackson as well, but he's not rated all that well. So he's going to be the bell cow. And knowing, I'll add on to this, knowing B, we build our defenses very similarly, where we like dominant defensive line and then coverage linebackers. They got Kenneth Murray Jr. in the draft out of Oklahoma later in the first round. So they have Kaiser White, who I had at the end of last cycle, who's a really good cover corner or cover linebacker. So I think this roster is really built well with how B likes to play, how he likes to set up his defense, how he likes to play on offense with a lot of speed, and kind of spreading the ball around. He always does a good job of that. So I think it's set up for him to despite the shortcomings, to be successful early on.
Sure.
All right, so I think that wraps it up for the Chargers. So we will
Good.
move on to our fourth and final team, and I believe